Hello, loves. This is Lynn, Dream Girl Writer, coming to you with a message about divine grace, connection, and communion. And I am sort of filled up right now with the remembrance of incidents in my life of grace, and they have been prompted by recent incidents of grace. And also, my communion with nature has just kind of reached a new level of evolution in these last few weeks. And I also am seeing such um, gracious and wonderfully divine results from that. And so I just wanted to share this with you because it's important that we share these things with each other. It's important that we tell the truth about how we feel and the struggles we're going through, because we're all struggling. We're all going through these same things on some level, even if we're keeping them at bay and refusing to really deal with them or embrace them and clear them. We can be models for each other. We can give each other permission to be vulnerable and to be understanding and to listen more and to connect more. And so, on my walk today, which is where I have most of my nature epiphanies, at least, if not a lot of other ones as well, I was standing there looking at the lake, and my fish jumped out of the water. Couple fish just kind of skimmed the top of the water, and one jumped out. And I was thinking about the time I was paddling with a neighbor, stand up paddling with a neighbor, and we were in that spot that I saw the fish jump. And she relayed to me a story about when she was paddling one day, and a fish jumped out of the water onto her board, a huge I forget what she said it was, fish. Well, we have a number of pretty big fish in this lake that I live on, Lake Murray. And the way she relayed it to me was she was very indignant that the fish chose her board to jump out on. It scared her, of course, and she was a little bit upset in her balance and almost fell. And in recounting the story, she implied that the fish had an agenda to get her. And I thought that was so interesting. I kind of smiled to myself. I, never challenged her on that concept, but I'm like thinking, so you're out on a paddleboard, which is a human thing, and you're in the fish's territory where they live, and it happens to jump onto your paddleboard for whatever reason, and you take it as a personal affront to you. I mean, kind of ridiculous, but okay, if that's the way you need to see it. And it just brought up for me how my perspective has changed so much. I mean, I might have even thought about it that way. I doubt it, but possibly sometime in the past I might have thought about it that way too. I, at least would have been frightened and maybe thought there was a cosmic reason for it and looked into that, like what's happening right now in my life where a fish has to jump onto my board to get my attention, something like that. But it brought up for me, it reflected for me how well I commune with nature these days. When I go out paddling, and it's mostly by myself, I just happen to be paddling with this neighbor that one day, I go out for the element of nature, to commune, to expressly commune with nature. And we have all these lovely herons and hawks, and there's a bald eagle around here, and maybe more than one, and all kinds of birds and turtles and fish. And I think it's just, I feel like they're coming to me and giving me a gift, whenever I see them. And in fact, I apologize to the blue heron when I come up upon them because they're so still all the time and they're just like standing there blending in with the background so well that even with my gentle paddling and my awareness of what's going on, sometimes I fail to see them until I'm right up upon them, and then I may be too close and they'll fly away. So I always apologize after that happens because it's like my lack of awareness disturbed them, and I feel bad about that, or I feel like I should apologize. But the thing that has also come out of this with me is that nature does come to me a lot more often. I'll be standing looking out on the lake or leaning against a tree, and a bird will come up in the branch right above me and look down at me. And I know they've come there for me. I was at the zoo recently. It was a while back now, but I remember the incident so well that I communed with a monkey at that zoo, a squirrel monkey, as it were. And they came up to me. She came up to me to the end of the enclosure where she was, and there was a space between us, and she looked over that closure, or over that space, into my eyes, and then she started doing this with her mouth without sound, and I knew she was telling me something, and I stood there in awe and in communion with her and felt the message that really was without words. I never really articulated it, except that I felt like she was telling me, thank you for paying attention. Thank you for being one of us. And a woman next to me at the zoo remarked on it after, it happened. She was standing next to me watching it, and she said, how did you do that? That monkey, it looked like that monkey was talking to you. And I said, I just did it for the first time just now. And those kinds of things, I feel, represent the fact that once we get in touch with Mother Earth and honor her and her creatures and make it clear that we understand that we are one with the earth and with divine creatures of all divine creatures, that she responds. She sends her creatures to us, and she gives them the safety, and they feel safe around us because they know we are one. And it's very magical. And I feel so honored to know that truth. And I want to leave you with a couple of what I call soul bites that came to me today after this particular revelation. And just because they may be a little random as far as connection, but I just feel like I should share them. And I wrote them down, so I'm going to read them for you. Sometimes the best way for things to work is for them to fail. The worst may happen, but I can think the best until it does. I tend to put on weight during lean times. Paradoxically enough, I have come to realize that I can convey to my fat cells, I can convey thanks to my fat cells for filling my physical coffers, so to speak, and let them know that now they can release their contents for use, recycle, and elimination. It's amazing how linked my mind and body are, and I take this wisdom to heart. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.